Okay, here's a topic I really think this is important for you because it's not just corporate finance. This actually impacts your personal financial situation when you think about things in this way. So what we're talking about is debt as leverage. And the biggest example of that I can give you, the one that hits home with the most people, is your home ownership. So let's look at home ownership here. In this case, a house return based on debt is we have EBIT. In a recession, expected return, or an expansion. It doesn't necessarily have to be because of the economy, but this is the home price. The home price has either gone up or down 10%. In a recession, the house goes down 10%, you've lost $50,000. In the expected condition that doesn't change, or no change condition, you haven't gained or lost anything. And an expansion where the house has gone up $50,000, you made $50,000. Now, if you have 100% down, and 100% down means you paid cash for the house, 100% down. In the recession, you lost 10%. In the expected, you lost 0, and in the expansion, you gained 10%. But if you put 20% down, and 20% being the standard amount put down for house payments, or at least it was for years and years, if you put 20% down and borrow 80% of your money, then in the condition of 20% down in a recession, you've lost $50,000. Well, 20% down, how much would 20% of a $500,000 house be? That's right, it'd be $100,000, right? 20% of $500,000 is $100,000. So your $100,000 has lost $50,000. So you lost half your money. So in the case where the house went down 10%, a 20% down payment on that house, you've lost 50% of your down payment. On the other hand, if the house goes up 10%, in other words, you made $50,000 on your $100,000 down payment. Remember, the $400,000 is coming from the bank. Then you've magnified your result by $50,000, and $50,000 on a $100,000 investment is a 50% return. So with 20% down, if you have put 100% down, you either gain or lose 10%. If you put 20% down, you gain or lose 50%. If you only put 10% down, a 10% change in the home value changes your result by 100%. You either double your money or you lose all of your money. So you can see that by borrowing the majority of the amount of money in the house, in the 20%, you've borrowed 20% of 500,000 is 400,000. In the 10%, you've borrowed 450,000 of the 500,000. And so by borrowing that much money, by having your debt to equity ratio so lopsided, that it gives you a tremendous amount of return if it goes in your favor. If it doesn't go in your favor, you get wiped out even faster. In other words, remember the graph, we're steepening that line. And as you steepen that line, you get tremendous results on the top side, and you get really bad results on the downside. And that's what debt does for either your house or your company. So when you have debt, if the assets are appreciating, if the company's doing well or your home's doing well, that's fantastic. If it's not doing well, you're magnifying your losses. You're taking even bigger losses. So this is a really important factor in home ownership, and you wonder why people can go bankrupt with a home when you own a home. Well, yes, but if the home goes down in value, you've magnified your losses quite a bit. And so that's when home ownership is very troubling for people. A lot of times homes go up in value, and they're usually appreciating assets, but clearly we've all lived through a time in our history where homes went down in value. And when homes go down in value, a lot of people lose. So that's going to be a big important lesson for you moving forward. Debt is leverage. Just change those words in your mind. It's going to magnify the result. In companies, we want a certain amount of debt, not too much that it's too risky. We're going to talk more about that coming up. In your own life, you want to have debt for appreciating assets, and you don't want too much debt, because if you have too much debt, any little waiver can put you in the red. Now, if you hold on to your house, even though it goes in the red. If you hold on to your house and wait for it to come back up, that's okay too. But usually when you hit the recession, a lot of homeowners lose their job, and when you lose your job, you can't make your payments. And of course, that's the worst time to sell, so you can get a double whammy and get wiped out pretty quickly. So that's the lesson in debt is leverage. Just be thinking about them as different when you're making any kind of debt decision on personal finance. Let's keep going with the corporate finance and find out what we should do in the company.